And here is the Writer's Almanac for Thursday, the 19th of May, 2022. It's the birthday of Malcolm X, born Malcolm Little in Omaha, 1925. When he was 4 years old, living in East Lansing, white supremacists set fire to the family's home. East Lansing police and firefighters, all of them white, came to the house, but they stood by and watched it burn. When he was 6, his father was murdered. Police declared the death a suicide, which invalidated the family's life insurance. The boy's mother never recovered from the murder, went into a mental institution when he was 12. When he was 14, he told his high school teacher he wanted to be a lawyer. The teacher told him to be realistic and think about becoming a carpenter, and the boy dropped out of school the following year. He was arrested for larceny, 1946, went to prison. An older inmate encouraged him to use his time to educate himself, so he started reading books from the prison library. To improve his vocabulary, he copied out an entire dictionary, word for word, and he began a correspondence with Elijah Muhammad, the founder of the Nation of Islam, and became one of their most prominent organizers. He took the surname X to symbolize his lost African heritage. In 1964, Malcolm X broke with the Nation of Islam when he learned that his mentor was having multiple affairs, contradicting his own teachings. Malcolm made the Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia, where for the first time he related to people of all races, came back to America with a new message, dictated his life story to the writer Alex Haley. The book, The Autobiography of Malcolm X, came out the next year, shortly after Malcolm X was assassinated while speaking at a rally in Manhattan. He was 39 years old. It was on this day in 1897 Oscar Wilde was released from Reading Jail, where he'd been sentenced to 2 years hard labor for homosexual offenses. He'd had a romance with a young Oxford student named Alfred Douglas, who introduced Oscar Wilde to the underground world of gay prostitution in Victorian London, which Wilde found dangerous and thrilling. He said it was like feasting with panthers. The danger was half the excitement. He served his 2 years in prison, was released on this day in 1897, left right away for France, where he wrote his final work, The Ballad of Reading Jail, and died 3 years later alone and penniless in a hotel in France. And it's the birthday of the playwright Lorraine Hansberry, born Chicago 1930, author of the play A Raisin in the Sun, opened on Broadway in 1959. It was a big success, first Broadway play to be written by a black woman, and for most of the audience, it was the first time they'd seen the life of a normal black family portrayed on stage or in movies. Here's a poem for today by Joe Crandall, entitled A Fabulous Pizza. You made us this fabulous pizza, like the one in the cafe in the streets along the Mississippi that day in New Orleans, with ground sausage and rice and beans. We'd gone to church that morning. It was Sunday, and we heard a band playing on Burgundy Street and sat in a cafe and drank red wine and held hands in the Louisiana sunshine. It was beautiful. I felt the angels hover as the brass band marched down the street. Me with my hand on your leg, you, my lover, your fine clothes, the sandals on your feet. How simple life is. We hear music, we are fed, we sit close to each other with angels overhead. A Fabulous Pizza, a poem by Joe Crandall, used by permission of the poet here on the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.